Hello everyone. Today we are going to do a beginner bar class, but before we get started, I want you to know a little background about this type of bar class. So when you think of bar, you probably think of a ballet dancer warming up at her bar, kicking high, doing the splits, all those sorts of things. And there is a type of bar that's like that. One of the most famous ones is Mary Helen Bowers. We have some of her DVDs in the library, and she instructed, I think I have the right name, Natalie Portman, when she did the movie Black Swan. So that's the type of bar that is more fluid, more of a dancer's kind of bar movement. This I would call more of an athletic bar movement, and it comes from the Lottie Burke method. And you probably wonder why I'm mentioning that. Well, Lottie Burke was a lady who started a fitness studio in London, and then it came to New York. And it's a mix of strength training, dance, orthopedic back exercises, and hatha yoga. This was the original Lottie Burke. And a lot of her instructors, when the method came to New York, liked it, but felt like that it could be a safer, more effective method. So several of them branched out and made their own studios and DVDs and things like that. And this is the history or the background of where the type of bar that I do comes from. A lot of the innovators that you'll hear about with bar came from the Lottie Burke method historically. So I have a couple things here to show you. Core Fusion is a series of DVDs that were put out by Fred DeVito and his wife Elizabeth Halfpap, and they were Lottie Burke instructors. They have a studio in New York, and this is a beginner bar DVD, and they have a nice breakdown of tutorials on how to do the different bar exercises. They also wrote a book, which is also in our library, called Bar Fitness, and a lot of the things we'll be doing today come from this book. All right, so I want to mention, now that you kind of know where we're coming from with the bar that we're doing, it's not dancey at all, it's not ballet at all, it's muscle training based on that Lottie Burke method. It's kind of evolved over the years into different methods. So the benefits of bar fitness: increasing your bone density. Bar exercises require standing on one or both feet, so you're using your own body weight as resistance, and the stress placed on the bones during the weight-bearing exercises strengthen the bones. So good news there. Increase muscle density. Having muscles that are dense and strong will help you maintain a higher than average resting metabolic rate, so that you have the potential to burn calories 24/7, even when the body is at rest. Oh, and I want you to let you know that the fall challenge word for this DVD or this recording is feel the burn. So when we have strong muscles, they burn calories constantly at a higher rate than they do when all we do is cardio. A lot of people walk, do a treadmill, run, those kind of things, and they wonder why, especially throughout the middle, they're not losing weight. The fact is that when you stop that walk or that run, basically the increased metabolic rate stops right there. When you work your muscles, however, your muscles keep burning at a higher rate all the time, as long as you keep up the muscle training on a regular basis. Every 2 or 3 days, fit it in 3 or 4 days a week. So another benefit of doing bar work is improved muscle elasticity. You won't get the sprains and strains and pulled muscles that you normally have, because we focus on lengthening the muscles as we strengthen them. Body shaping, strengthening is complemented by stretches that elongate the muscles, especially the legs, and that also goes back to that elasticity. And the therapeutic benefits, with proper position and alignment, bar exercises can be therapeutic. So that's where this history is from. It's from the therapeutic world, and these newer instructors have brought it to a new level of the therapy, taking away kind of some of the things they felt were more dangerous and putting in safer exercises. So the main thing you want to do is focus on the quality, not the quantity. So if you're doing a movement and you have really great form and then you get, off and you start using really bad form, you just want to stop where you have the great form and not go with the bad form. Okay, so let me put my papers down here real quick and we'll get started. What you'll need for this class is a mat, a chair or a counter or something for balance, and a set of hand weights if you want them. And I mentioned the socks. I started doing bar once the COVID hit at home, and they wore these little socks. I'll bring them closer. They're little like Mary Jane's, and then they have some those little nubs on the bottom, but then at the heels and the toes, able to let you slide. So I really like these. I've been wearing them a lot when I do bar work. So I'm wearing those today just to show you. And you can buy them on Amazon. You can just look for like yoga socks or bar socks, or and they're not expensive. I think I bought 4 pairs for $17 or something like that. So anyway, just a little tip there if you'd like to get those for you. Okay, well, why don't I stop? Well, not really stop talking because I'll have to instruct you through, but why don't I stop yammering and we'll get started. So we're going to do some leg lifts. And swinging the opposite hand. 4, 5, 7. Let's do one more set. 8, 7. Pulling up and in with that belly. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Now we're going to take our arms like goalposts, reach across. So we're not really bringing it down towards the knee. Breathe. 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2. Last one. All right, reach those legs out to a wide second position. Bend your knees, and as you do, we're going to reach our arms up, lower the arms as we straighten the legs. Down and up. One more set for 8, 7, 6, 4 more, 3, 2, and 1. Bring those arms down. All right, we're going to do some standing work, so I'm going to move my chair over. All right, first position turnout. I hope you can see my feet. They're in a little V. It's just whatever your natural turnout is. Okay, some of us have more mobility in the thighs. We'll get a further turnout. Some of us, like me, don't. So let's just lift and lower. Warming up those calves, getting used to raising those heels. down. We're going to lift up. This is where you might want to have the chair for balance. We're going to walk those heels together, and now we're going to bend the knees. I'm going to turn to the side for just a second. Whoops. As you can see, my spine, I'm not sitting back like I'm doing a squat. My spine is straight, okay? Straight down. Just get used to that movement. If you need the chair, place a hand on there. 8 and up, 7 and up, 5, 4, 3, 2, down and up, and lower those heels. We're going to take our feet in a parallel position, about hip distance apart, bend your knees, and raise your heels. So you can see from the side. Right, spine is still straight. Well, spine's not straight because it has that double S curve, but you know what I mean. I'm not leaning forward or back. Down and up. Down and up. 4, 8, up, 7, 6, and whenever you need to, if you need to put your heels down on the floor, you can. 3 and 2, last one, come up and heels down. All right, we're going to do a single leg lift. So one hand on the chair, outside, opposite leg from the chair is going to lift. Up and down. So it's not a kick. And we're not crunching in the belly. We're lifting up and out of the belly. And it's only as high as you can lift using that quadricep, using that front muscle to lift. 5, 6, 7, and 8, and down. We're going to do the inside leg. So I bring that foot forward, put my big toe on the floor, and just lift from there. Keeping everything along in the torso. Seven and 8. One more step. Lift 8 and 7, 6 and 5, 3, 2, and last one. All right, I'm going to move my chair. We're going to come down to the mat and do some stretches. So I'm on my knees here. We're going to reach one leg forward. Let me do the other leg first, okay? This stretches out this hip flexor, which you might have noticed doing some of those exercises can become a little tender there, so it's a good place to stretch. Now we're just going to bring the weight back and stretch the hamstring of the back leg. All right, now swing that leg back behind, other leg comes forward, and then you stretch forward so you get a good hip flexor stretch. Then you're going to lean back, straighten that front leg, flex at that ankle, and hold here with that straight leg. All right, put that foot down, come back to a standing position for standing glutes. All right, now the glutes. We want to think about contracting those glute muscles. We don't think about our glutes much. They're just there to sit on, right? So what we want to do is tuck our seat under. So we don't want to be here. We want to be here, tucked. Okay? In a Pilates, it's like a Pilates C curve. All right? And tuck that seat and turn out the leg that's working. Then you're going to contract in that glute to lift the leg. So don't just lift the leg, okay? Contract that glute. Contract the glute. Squeeze it back. 8, 7, 6, 5. So just the squeezing of the glute is what moves the leg. You don't want to move the leg on its own. You do work for that leg on its own, right? We're going to bring that leg in front for a figure 4 stretch. All right, other side. So we tuck into that curve, take that leg back, now lift using that glute. So the leg is the weight and the glute is the muscle that's working. For 8, 7, 6, there's a fly around here, so 2, last one, and we're going to do that figure 4 stretch on this side. All right, I don't think we need the chair for this next one. A wide second position plie. Remember, it's like we're sliding our spine down a wall. 7, 6. When you stand, don't lock out the knees. 3, 2, last one. Now, if you can, we're going to come down and we're going to raise those heels. Well, you might want your chair for this one. And down. Raise those heels. And down. 2 more like that. Raise those heels. And down last time. And down. Come all the way up. I'm going to turn to this side for this next one. It's a back bend. So we're going to have the palms facing each other. Tuck in that belly, and then just from this mid back, we're going to, like we're rolling over a ball. So we're not crunching into that lower spine. Come back up. Let's do that 3 more times. So pull in the belly button. Come out, up, and over like you're rolling over a ball. 2 more. Pull in that belly button. Reach out, up, and over. And last time. Pull in, lift up and over. And bring those arms down. Okay. Let's do our weights here. We're going to do a press for the shoulders. So we start at a goalpost arm. Just raise and lower. And down. So we only come down to that goalpost position. 6. And down. 7. 8 more. Lift up and down. Lift up. So working the tops of the shoulders and the upper back. 4 more. Up as you come down. Feel those upper back muscles. 3, 2, last one. We're going to start with the goalpost now and bring those arms in and out. Chest work and out. One more set. Bring it in and open. In and open. 3, 2, and last one. We're going to start at this position with the arms at that right angle. Okay? I'm going to press up. So working the front of the deltoid or the shoulder now. Eight more. Press it. 8 and 7. 4 more. 3, 2, last one, and bring those weights down. And we're going to come down to the floor. All right, we are going to come into a plank position. So I'm going to show you a modified plank first. So we have our hands. I like to do forearm planks. So we have our hands at a right angle. There are hands straight, and then our elbows at a right angle. And we're just going to have the thighs on the floor and pull up with the belly. This is your modification. If you want to, we're going to tuck our toes and come up. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and come down. All right, we're going to come to a side plank. So the right angle, okay, straight here, straight out with the forearm. Easiest position is both knees are bent and you come up here. A little harder is have that straight leg. The hardest position is to come here. We're going to hold it for 8 breaths. If you can, raise that top arm. 7, 6, like you're pulling up from here. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and down. And other side. All right, so choose your position. Remember, bent legs, top leg straight, or both legs straight. Come up. 8, 7, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and come down. All right, we're going to do a reverse push-up for the triceps. Now, if you have shoulder issues, I want you to do the easiest position. So you have your feet flat on the floor, and you're not going to lift your seat. You're just going to bend and straighten those arms. All right, that's the starting position. Second position, bent knees, but you're lifting your seat. Hardest is straight leg. We're doing a set of 8. Lift up, bend, press, bend, press. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and down. All right, we're going to do a pretzel. So the pretzel starts up, the hip that you're sitting on, that leg is straight across the front of your mat. So you have a right angle at the knee, okay? Then this leg comes straight out from the hip and has a right angle to the lower leg towards the back. Now the easier position for doing these is down on the forearm. Harder is up here. We're going to lift that leg for 8. And I know sometimes it feels like lead, right? Now we're going to lift that leg up to hip height and then just press it back. Now we're going to lift, press back. Lift, press back. And back, and 4, and back. Lift 5, and back. And I know these are intense, especially if you've never done them. Last one, and back. Let's circle that leg around in front of the opposite knee and twist away. All right, other leg. Okay, so right angles. We want the right angle at the front leg, straight out, and right angle back with that back leg. Lift, 2. So it's small, as you can tell. Press it back, 8, 7. Like you're sliding along glass. And lift up and back, and up and back. 4 and back. 4 more. 3, 2, last one, and back. Bring that leg forward and twist. All right, we're going to come into a C curve movement, which if you've done any of the Pilates recordings, you might have done before. We start by holding on. Your elbows are out to the side and you round back into your C curve and come up. Exhale, inhale. Four, 4, and up. 3, and up. And 1, and up. Now we're going to take both hands to the front leg and come back and up. Working to those obliques. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both hands to the other leg, back and up. 4, 4, and 3. Last one, round back, hold both legs. If you can, reach those arms out and hold for 8, 7. Hold on when you need to. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come up. All right, we're coming to a prone position. So we're going to come to a Sphinx position and just hold here for a few breaths. We're pulling our belly button off the mat. Pull that belly button up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to come down. Have our hands cross one over the other. Put your forehead on the hands. I'll turn my head so you can hear me. Take your feet about hip or mat width apart. Just going to lift the legs. 2, 4. Again, squeezing those glutes. 2. Last one. And down. We're going to press off with our hands back to child's pose. And then we're going to come back out. Let's come back out. We're going to reach our arms overhead with our thumbs pointing towards the ceiling. And we're going to try to lift the arms and legs at the same time. For 4, 3, 2, last one, down, back to child's pose. Now we're going to come on our spine. Bring this over here. All right. We're going to slowly roll all the way down. We're just going to think about tucking that seat up. Just a tilt, tilt, tilt. And 4. Let's do 4. And 3. And 2. Last one. And down. Now we're going to lift into a bridge. So lift up and down. Lift up. Again, this is back at the body work. Squeeze those glutes and hamstrings. 4 more. Lift up and down. And 2 and down. And 1 and down. I'm going to lift one leg up. Take the opposite hand to the outside and just bring it over. For a nice side stretch. Bring those legs back. Put the chair out of the way. Lift the one knee, hand to the opposite outside of that knee. Bring it over. This should feel really good. All right, we're going to sit up. This spiral stretch, which I'm not very good at because I'm not very loose in this area. I'm going to reach forward as far as I can to stretch those inner thighs. So you may be able to come a lot farther than I can. Place one hand on the shin, the other hand comes overhead, stretching up the side. And then that hand goes to the shin, reach, pull that belly button back, and then get a nice stretch up the side, and down and over. Time down and over. All right, we're going to sit on one hip like we did for that pretzel. Place our hand on the top of the foot. Draw the thigh back. So you want it hip height, and then you want to draw it back a little behind the hip. And that'll really give you a good stretch in that quadricep, the front of the thigh there. Bring that leg in front. Reach, reach, reach forward. For your hip stretch on this front leg side. Pull that belly button back all the time. Sit up. Bring that inside leg out. So you can hold the top of the foot, draw it back, and then behind the thigh, behind the hip, sorry. And bring that leg in front and reach, reach, reach forward. And sit up. Well, I hope you enjoyed that introduction or beginner bar class. And bar is one of my favorite things. I do it just about every day. That's why I invested in a bar this year, because chair works fine for most things. It's actually better for some things, but I invested in the bar since I've been doing hundreds of classes of bar this year so far. So, I wouldn't invest in it unless you're really invested in a bar program. So there you go. There's my pun for the day. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget that Feel the Burn is your code word for this class. And I hope to see you next week, for which I'm planning a stability ball workout again. We did one back in April, I guess, and I thought it'd be good to bring it back. Another good way to work out the whole body. So I'll see you then.